Part 1, A Moment Too Real. The Kansas City night sky loomed above the stadium like a velvet curtain draped over a secret. It was cold, yes, but not cold enough to explain the chill Taylor felt. Wrapped in a vintage Chiefs jacket far too big for her petite frame, Taylor Swift sat in the VIP box alone, watching the post-game celebrations dim into silence. Her heart raced, not because of the victory the Chiefs had just secured, but because of what she was about to do. Down on the field, Travis Kelce laughed with his teammates, arms raised, sweat glistening on his forehead like proof of battle. He looked radiant, golden, even. But Taylor's eyes weren't seeing gold tonight. They were clouded with fear, with regret, with a secret she had been holding close for weeks. She pulled her phone out, her hands trembling as she texted. "Can we talk? Alone." Seconds later, he looked up toward the suite. Their eyes met across a sea of emptying stands. He gave a half-smile, confusion creeping into the lines of his face. Something in her stare told him this wasn't a victory celebration. Part 2, The Confession. Back at his private residence, the fire in the hearth crackled, but neither of them felt its warmth. Taylor stood by the window, her arms crossed, her back turned to him. Travis walked in, fresh from a shower, his signature chain catching the firelight. "You okay, Tay?" he asked gently. She turned around slowly, her face pale. "I need to tell you something. And I don't know how you're going to take it." He moved toward her, suddenly alert. "What's going on?" She sat down slowly on the edge of the couch, patting the cushion beside her. "Sit." Travis obeyed, heart beginning to pound. Taylor took a deep breath. "I've been keeping something from you. Something big. I didn't mean to lie, I just didn't know how to say it." "Okay," he said, his jaw tightening. "I'm not ready for marriage," she whispered. He blinked. "What?" "I know you've been dropping hints," she said, her voice cracking. "And I know your family loves me. I love them too. I love you, Trav. More than I've loved anyone. But I realized I'm not ready for the life you're ready for." The silence that followed was deafening. She added quickly, "I thought I could do it, I thought I was healed enough. But all the scars, all the years of running, of being in the public eye, of trying to fit into something that never felt like me, it's all catching up. And I don't want to drag you through my mess." Travis stared at her, stunned. "So what are you saying? You wanna break up?" "No," she cried. "I want to be honest. I don't want to break us. But I don't want to lie to you either." He stood up abruptly, pacing the floor. "So what am I supposed to do, Taylor? Just wait? Put everything on hold?" She stood too. "I'm not asking for forever. I'm asking for understanding. For patience. Please. I just needed to tell you before you got down on one knee or planned our future without knowing where I really am." Part 3, The Breaking Point. For a moment, he didn't speak. Then suddenly, his voice cracked, a sound she had never heard from him. "I already bought the ring." Taylor's mouth dropped open. "You did?" He nodded, eyes misty. "A month ago. I've been carrying it around every day, waiting for the perfect moment. I even thought about doing it after the Super Bowl if we win. I've never been so sure about anything in my life." Her knees gave out beneath her, and she sank back to the couch. "Travis." He wiped at his face roughly. "I've waited my whole life to find someone like you. And just when I think I've got it all, it slips away." "I'm not slipping away," she sobbed. "I'm just not ready to say yes to something I might mess up. I'm terrified, Trav." And then it happened. The tears he had held in for years, through injuries, media storms, heartbreaks, betrayals, came pouring out. He sat down beside her, burying his face in his hands, shoulders trembling. Taylor reached out, pulling him into her arms. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They sat like that for what felt like hours, two souls tangled in silence, broken open but holding on. Part 4, After the Storm. Weeks passed. They didn't break up. Instead, they started therapy, together and separately. Travis opened up about what it meant to carry expectations as a man, a partner, a public figure. Taylor talked about the weight of fame, of childhood wounds, of being the girl who was always everyone's muse but never truly seen. They took a break from the spotlight. No games. No concerts. Just quiet drives, handwritten letters, shared sunrises. And one day, without cameras or diamonds or pressure, she looked at him on a cabin porch in Montana and said, "Ask me now." He didn't have the ring on him. But he dropped to his knees anyway, grabbed her hand, and whispered, "Will you marry me?" Tears rolled down her cheeks as she nodded. This time, she wasn't scared. Epilogue. Months later, they told the world. The internet exploded with joy and disbelief. But the most important part of their story was never in the headlines. It was in the tears he cried when she told the truth. And the choice they both made to love each other anyway. Title: The Confession, a fictional Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce story. Long, emotional fictional drama based on public figures, for entertainment purposes only. The air was crisp in Los Angeles that night, even though it was May. Taylor Swift sat barefoot on the patio of the rented Spanish villa, her legs tucked under her, a glass of untouched red wine by her side. The ocean wasn't far, she could hear the rhythmic pulse of the waves, but even that calming sound wasn't enough to soothe her racing heart. Inside, the lights were low. Travis Kelce had just returned from a charity event, still wearing his navy blue suit and that charming, lopsided smile that had won over millions, and Taylor's heart. But tonight, that smile wasn't enough. She had been quiet all week. Ever since the final leg of her international tour, something in her shifted. Maybe it was the constant media glare, maybe the pressure of loving someone in the public eye while holding parts of yourself hidden. Or maybe, it was the secret she hadn't yet told him. "Babe?" Travis called from the kitchen, his voice echoing slightly against the stone walls. "You okay out there?" Taylor didn't answer immediately. She swallowed the lump in her throat and wiped away the tear that had already betrayed her calm. She hated this feeling, of weakness, of fear, but more than that, she hated lying to the man who had stood beside her through more than just football games and award shows. He stepped onto the patio moments later. "Hey," he said softly, crouching beside her. "What's going on?" She turned to him slowly, her blue eyes glassy but strong. "Trav. I need to tell you something. And once I do, everything might change." His eyebrows knitted. He took her hand, kissed her knuckles. "Nothing you say could make me love you less. You know that, right?" Taylor inhaled deeply. "You say that now." He stayed silent, letting her speak. "There's something I've never told the world, something I've buried so deep I convinced myself it didn't matter anymore." She looked down. "Before you, before all this, there was someone else." Travis blinked. "Okay." Taylor's voice trembled. "I was pregnant. Years ago. I lost the baby. No one knew, not my fans, not my family, not even the father." A beat of silence. Travis stared at her, stunned. His lips parted, but no words came out. Tears welled in her eyes now, cascading down her cheeks. "I wasn't ready. I was scared. And ashamed. The father, he was someone from the industry. It was messy. And I just buried it all, wrote a song or two that hinted at it, but I never faced it, not really. Until now." Travis sat back on his heels, a storm of emotions crossing his face. His strong jaw clenched, his eyes clouded. But he didn't speak. "I didn't tell you because I didn't want to burden you with my past," she whispered. "I thought if I loved you enough, this secret wouldn't matter. But it does. It matters because I want a future with you. One where nothing is hidden. And that's when it happened. A single tear slid down Travis's cheek. Taylor gasped. She had seen him emotional before, in post-game interviews, in intimate moments, but never like this. Never broken. Never vulnerable. I'm so sorry, she choked out, reaching for him. I never meant to hurt you. But Travis shook his head and grabbed both of her hands. No. Don't ever apologize for that. His voice cracked. I'm crying because you carried that pain alone. For years. And I wasn't there to hold you through it. Taylor's lip trembled as her body collapsed into his. I didn't know how to tell you. I wish I had known. God, Taylor, no one should go through that alone. They stayed like that for what felt like forever, her head against his chest, his arms wrapped tightly around her, their pain and love tangled in the stillness of the night. Finally, Travis pulled back just enough to look her in the eyes. Thank you for telling me. You didn't have to, but you did. That takes guts, Tay. And I love you even more for it. She smiled through the tears. So, you're not leaving? He laughed softly, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Not a chance. You're stuck with me. Taylor exhaled deeply, a weight lifting from her chest that she hadn't realized was still there. In that moment, the past didn't define her. Her pain didn't own her. Because she had someone who saw every piece of her, and stayed. And somewhere in that still night, with only the waves and the stars as witnesses, two broken hearts grew stronger together.